Hey YouTube, Willow Dragonfly here, doing the tag that Brian Cormac Carr started the AM/PM pagan practices, AM/PM tarot practices. Um, excuse me. I have combined, mine are kind of combined, I suppose. Pagan practices. Okay, so we'll just go through my day. Typically, what I do is I get up between anywhere between 3:30 and 5:30, just depending on when I wake up, and then I will usually look at my phone, look at social media, Facebook, things like that. Then and check my emails. Then I get up. I come into this room here and I will look at my planner. Yeah. I'll look through my planner, kind of see what my appointments are going to be. Basically, if I have a to-do list, if I have a shopping list, things like that. And it kind of will set the tone for my day. Am I going to be very busy? Am I going to have a lot of free time? That kind of stuff. Then I will do a couple of different card pulls. I'm recently working on Lenormand. So I pick 3 decks at the beginning of the week. I pick a tarot deck, an oracle deck, and now a Lenormand deck. And this week I have been working on my mundane side, my mundane life, connecting with spirituality, connecting. I'm feeling a disconnect. I've been feeling a disconnect for a while. Some things are working well for me and they seem to really be comforting me. Some things just a little bit of an empty space. Something's off, and I have been doing different things trying to really trying to work with it. I did a few videos like chakra, trying to work with that, and it gets lackluster. I don't really follow through. It's not there. I mean, there are some things I like as far as the chakras go, some of the meditation, and I've been making some oils and incense and stuff, but that's not it. That's not the piece I'm missing. I believe in energy. I believe in self-energy. I believe in the energy of all things, but I'm not connecting with the chakras like I thought I would be. Like I said, I did a few videos, and even then, a lot of people, those videos have the least amount of views. So either there's too much out there, or mine are too disjointed and people aren't enjoying them. And it's understandable because I'm disjointed when I'm doing them. So anyway, so back to my practice. So I pick right now 3 decks, Oracle, Tarot, and a Lenormand. And because I'm working on the mundane aspect, bring in spiritual or ritual into everyday life, and trying to incorporate it a little more, like I incorporate my cooking, stuff like that. Well, we'll get to that. So anyway, this week's deck is the Book of Shadows Tarot So Below deck. It's the let's just show you. So it's just oops, sorry about that. Everyday women, just kind of just everyday life, everyday people. It is very female focused, not too much ethnic diversity, but it's the working. It really suits me. So, and it suits this purpose. So I'm using that deck. I'm using right now the what is this deck called? Affirmations for the Everyday Goddess. So this is a Major Arcana deck. But each card has like an affirmation. The book has a little more. You could like actually do a different things. It's a little Christian based, but that's okay. I can associate that with what I need to do. What can use it for what I need for my purposes. And the reason I picked this is because it's called the Everyday Goddess. Okay, that's the backs. And even though that I'm working on mundane aspects and everyday things, there's a little goddess in all of us. So I'm using that deck. And the Lenormand deck is just basic Lenormand. It's kind of straightforward. So what I do in the morning is I will pick 1, 2, sometimes 3 cards from the tarot. I guess really what I do is first I pick the oracle card, and then I will put that in the journal, and I will write the phrase or the affirmation. If it's a deck that doesn't have the affirmation all written out, I will come up with an affirmation for the day. I will then pick 3 cards, or up to 3 cards, depending on what I get when I first pick, if I need clarity cards. And they'll usually the lesson I want to focus on for the day. Like, let's see, what I did yesterday. I had the moon card, use my intuition and intelligence to guide me at all times. And then I picked for my tarot cards, the 10 of Cups, the 10 of Wands was my focus. And that really is a card about, in this particular deck, juggling a little too much. So I picked a couple other cards to kind of, like, is it a positive thing or is it a negative thing? So it kind of worked out that it's basically what it comes down to is I may be juggling too much. And I think doing all this is going to make me happy or complete. However, some things are working and some things aren't, and I need to let some things go. So I had the 10 of Wands, 10 of Cups, 8, and the 8 of Cups for those cards. So that's what it came down to. And there were things I know that aren't working, but I keep doing them anyway, which kind of went along with that moon card, using my intuition and intelligence. So anyway, they all kind of work out. So I kind of set that for a goal. Like my goal, like what I need to work on personally or internally, my oracle and my tarot decks. And then the next thing I do is I will lay out all of the Lenormand, and I lay them out in the, is it 9x4? 9x4 pattern, so that they're all on a big grid. I find the female card or the woman or the lady, whatever the case may be, and then I look at the cards around it and use that to kind of predict what my day may bring and kind of watch for those signs and see how they correlate. So the Lenormand's kind of there's no like guesswork, there's no it may be this, it may be that, these are the things surrounding you, kind of this is what is kind of tone. So I do that, and then I'll write that a little bit about that in the journal. And the reason I'm doing this is because of solo learning and things like that. I like to, at the end of the day, come back and compare what kind of things happened, what did I see, am I seeing signs, am I interpreting signs appropriately, am I making more of it than it really is, that kind of stuff. So that's the morning. My morning's kind of a planner, a journal devotion, and just kind of straightforward and to the point. Then I go off to work, or, well, honestly, so after I do that, there's a few things I forget, and they're actually, pagan related. I get ready for work. So to get ready for work, I use rose water. I spritz my face with rose water, and I use that as like a cleansing, a freshening, a ready to start my day kind of thing. And then do the rest of that's basically the only real pagan routine. And then I get ready for work, go to work, come home from work, do dinner. With dinner, if I'm the one cooking, then I usually add some kind of intent, something into it for warmth, security, positivity, some kind of love basically into my meal. um, for the family. And then after dinner, after cleanup, just before bed, I come back in here and I will reflect on the day in the journal, respond to the cards that I had in that morning, and then I will do a little bit of meditation. And that meditation is very similar to what Simon from Hermit's Cave, I believe is his new channel, or his remake. So it's very similar to Simon's. It's kind of a bastardized version of what he does. It's the same. When I was on my spiritual path to begin with, I was very Buddhist for a while. I followed SGI, the Lotus Sutra. I spent a lot of time, a lot of study with that. And as I learned more about myself, things changed a little bit, a little more development. It wasn't quite meeting all my needs. And I think mostly because I'm in an area where there is nobody around here that there's just really nobody around here that has that same belief system, and I did need a little bit of sense of community. And that's how I found, that's social media helped with that, YouTube, things like that. And that's really kind of been helping along with some of the spiritual changes I've been going through, in all honesty. So anyway, so I will use the beads. Sometimes I will use the beads as prayer beads. I know it's very Catholic, but I will do that most of the time. Though it is, if I have a lot on my mind, I will use them like worry beads. I will go through and list out all my stressors for the day and kind of just count through. I don't contemplate those stressors. I just list the kind of my issues. I'm dealing with this. I'm dealing with that kind of thing. Then I will take the beads and a lot of times stone. I'll hold them together and I will use them to clear my mind. Now, unlike Simon, I don't. He does more like how I was taught, but it doesn't seem to work for me quite so much now. So I'll just go through and do Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, and go through like that. If I'm really emotionally distraught, then I will use the whole Lotus Sutra, or go through. I have a little book that I keep on my bedside because I don't memorize all of the words, and I probably have them pretty close to memorized though. But anyway, I will go through the book and I will do all of the phrases and go all the way through, just as a way to empty my mind. So I put all my worries and all my stressors into my beads. Close my mind. A lot of times I will have a candle in my little lotus flower candle. So I will do that and, face over my space here and kind of empty my mind and get ready for bed. If anything pops right back into my brain right afterwards, a key phrase or a phrase or a word or anything, sometimes that will happen and I'll write that down in my journal. But after that, I will shower, and I typically don't do like a whole ritual shower, but what I put some essential oils in my shampoo and conditioner and my body wash. And usually it's because I shower at night. It's usually some lavender and some jasmine. I find those kind of cleansing. So kind of like wash away everything and go to bed. And that is basically it in a nutshell. It's pretty simple and straightforward. So I've really enjoyed watching what other people do. It's been pretty interesting. Some people are super complex and others are very simple. It's just nice to see all of the writing and then how it's still one like big community. I don't know, just amazing. So thank you for this tag, and I hope everybody has a great day.